Hi, and welcome to the Skincarma Pod. I'm Carmine, the creator and voice of the Skincarma blog. With more than 25 years in beauty as a brand builder, copywriter, and skincare junkie, I'm putting my product wisdom and expertise to work demystifying skincare. On today's episode of the Skincarma Pod, I'm joined by the extraordinary Julie Lynn, a licensed medical esthetician, skin and wellness expert, and founder of her namesake brand. With more than 2 decades of experience in advanced aesthetics, Julie has built a reputation for blending cutting edge skin technologies with holistic wellness practices, creating her signature Ageless skin method. I first met Julie 8 or so years ago through my blog and was struck from the very start at Julie's unique approach, one that goes far beyond the skin surface. Her philosophy is rooted in four simple but powerful pillars: correct, repair, rejuvenate, and preserve. A framework that doesn't just transform skin, but transforms the way her clients feel in their skin. From microcurrent facials and LED light therapy to cold plasma treatments and exosome science, Julie has consistently been ahead of the trends, introducing modalities that not only restore and protect, but future proof your skin. What makes Julie so compelling isn't merely her technical expertise, it's the way she integrates spiritual coaching, heart centered practices, and holistic self care into her work, reminding us that skin health is inseparable from emotional and spiritual well being. I'm excited to reconnect with Julie to explore how she developed her iconic ageless skin method, the role of advanced tools in achieving lasting results, and why she believes true beauty has no age. Let's do this. Let's talk to Julie. Julie, hi.
Hi, how are you coming?
I'm good. It's so good to see you again. I've
You
missed
too.
you.
Oh, I know. We need to connect live when I'm in New York, and then
Yeah,
you come in and we do a little bit of a reality show in my little studio, and
let's
I
do
could
that.
show you what I'm doing behind the scene,
Yeah.
behind the
So
door.
you just left New York, right? Where are you now?
I'm in Stockholm,
Oh,
so
wow.
that's kind of where I'm from.
Oh,
Um,
really? I didn't know that.
yes. So my dad was Swedish. And
Okay.
yeah, so but I have a very diverse background because my dad was Swedish. He was this like quantum physicist. He went to third world country, built electricity. Met my mom in Southern Asia, and she worked at the first Holiday Inn in Kuala Lumpur. And she grew up in the woods, in the jungle, one would say, and hated the jungle. Wanted to, you know, find her other luck. And she went to Kuala Lumpur, and my dad happened to stay in that hotel. So,
Oh my God, that's how they met. That's so
yes, and that's
sweet.
how they kind of met. And, in Asia, I think still today, they're very fascinated by white skin. And, he was very Swedish. But they also thought he was very funny looking because they think that white people smell like cheese and funny looking, you know?
That is wild. I love Kuala Lumpur.
Yes, yes,
That's one of my favorite places I've ever been. Like the food is
yes.
phenomenal. And what is that coconut spread? Kava? I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, Kaya.
Kaya, that's it.
Yes.
Oh, I have missed that. I loved spreading that on my bread in the morning. Oh my God.
That's like candy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sweet
it
you
really
know.
is. It's all sugar, right?
Good sugar, we could say.
I guess so. I guess so. If there's such a thing, it's good sugar. Okay, so I really want to know how your journey in holistic wellness began. Do you want to expound on that a bit?
Yeah, so my grandfather, he was a medicine man.
Mm,
So he was from Borneo and he helped to heal people. But much more just herbs and so forth, but also through energy. He believes everything is made up of energy, every plant you eat and so forth. So I kind of grew up with that in mind, and every holiday, every weekend, I had to go to the jungle and visit him. So, and he created all these concoctions. And, I grew up with the ginger, the turmeric, the cayenne pepper, straight pressed out from a cloth in my mouth, right? Since I was little.
Hmm.
So, but today, as we know, everyone talk about turmeric and ginger concoctions, I
Yeah.
kind of grew up with that. So I just loved to look at things that are pretty. Everything that is pretty, I love it. And for me, I think it's more of an experience. So when I apply something on myself, I feel pretty, because I'm doing something for me. So I kind of grew up with that in mind, that it's not about looking pretty for the outside, but to feel pretty on the inside. So I think for me, beauty has been with me all my life. So the holistic beauty is just that, how do you take care of it from the inside out and then outside in, right? So the environment that we live in today, everything is on the outside, but how do we feel inside? So for me, when I have clients, I talk about the inside and the outside and the mind. So I created these three pillars that was never really a concept that I built. It was thinking, looking, feeling beautiful. And for me, you can't live one without the others. So it's kind of like one would say mind, body, spirit. I just changed the words a little bit. So I could say to you, right? Oh, how do you think? Do you think beautiful, or do you think positive? How do you feel inside? Confident, not confident? And then how do you look on the outside? So those three has always been my connection, the relationship to how do I sculpt beauty, and a holistic view. So from that on, it was so much easier, because that when I could connect with people, like, yeah, you have great skin, but I guess you don't have enough energy, right? There is no exude of glow and energy. And that has to do with like the mind, right? Or, well, I don't love the way I look and so forth, and then that affects how you feel. So I am then there to um, recreate. Okay, if I do something, if I torture your skin, and you in your head saying that, actually I went to see Julie Lynn and I got tortured. So in your mind, you're already saying that I did something for me, right? And because you see it, then you feel it. So that's why you can't do one or the other. So I don't just do the surface. I always go in, right?
Hmm.
Because for me, beauty is ageless. Ageless doesn't mean wrinkle free. Okay. So
Hmm.
ageless is a spark that you lost along the way because you're going through life. So I am just a tool, a messenger, what you would say, and I torture your skin, making it has a lot of energy, recycle whatever it's needed, and then you see yourself and you say, "Oh my God, I love it because I paid lots of money just to see this woman," and then now I know I did something. It's like having your hair done or your nail done, same thing. So
Yeah.
the holistic aspect of that's because I grew up with that.
Mm.
My granddad one time, he said I always had long hair. And of course, I was half Swedish. I was not all about this Asian thingy and so on. But I hated to brush my hair. It was not my thing. And then he would say, "Oh, great. The birds will be happy today. It thinks that you're a nest, landed on your head." So I would always remember that every time I brush my hair, because to him, it's like, yeah, well, then you have other purpose if you're not doing it for you. And
Yeah.
and if you think about Japanese and Korean and so forth, I think the reason why they're so far in advance when it comes to skincare and beauty is that they've been taught to respect their physical form. Okay, so it's more like, if I look good today, that means I respect me and the world will see me as such. I mean, it's the same thing. If I had acne, my face looked like it's falling apart, nobody's going to come and see me, right? So
Yeah.
I think if you stem the the idea where it comes from, I think that's one big thing that I tell clients. Like, do you respect yourself? Do you like yourself? If you don't like yourself, you can tell. They dress the way they do, they don't comb their hair, things like that. So you can
Yeah.
read a person by the way they look and how they carry themselves, but not through judgment. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Through healing.
Yes.
So take us through your ageless skin method. So the 4 pillars of the ageless skin method I outlined in the intro, but take us through that.
Yeah. So I needed, so, I built X Health Spa, and I was the youngest, and I had to teach all these skin specialist or esthetician that's been in the industry for like 20, 30 years. They were from Georgia Clingers, they were from everywhere. And I was this youngest person with the innovative mind that the skin treatments is not only for people to come in and they get pool cleansing and a massage and a mask and off they go, right? Just to feel good. So in my world was like, okay, how do I teach this to those who do not have this kind of concept? All they do is just hands on. I wanted them to think for themselves so that they can create a customization in the treatment room. So, as you know, 20 years ago, people will come in, hey, I want the basic facial. I want
Yeah.
a facial with the peel. I want, and there's a menu. But every time people sign up for that particular facial and they come in, I say, I'm sorry, that's not what you need. I'm going to change it,
Mm.
right? So I said, how can we make it so it's customization more so? So I created this 4 pillar called correct, repair, rejuvenate, and preserve. So what am I correcting here when you come in, when I analyze? Okay, is it imperfections that you see? You tell me that you don't like this line, this spot, and so on. So, okay, so I am here to correct those things because I'm the skin specialist. And then, okay, what am I repairing here? Oh, well, you've been drinking, smoking, been in the sun and all that. So all these damages, right? So these damages are in fact come from your internal organs. So they exude out to your skin. So then I may go in and I say, listen, you may want to drink more water. You may need to do chlorophyll. You may need to. So I start leading people into more on a diet, the lifestyle diet. Okay, reducing your dairy and your sugar and so forth. Because if you can help me to repair the inside, that's going to be much easier for me to correct the outside. The rejuvenation aspect is more like, how do I rejuvenate the cells? The cells, they
Mm.
need constant stimulation. That's why there are so many skincare products out there. There's so many different formulas. So if your cells do not generate certain frequencies, and you then add something that is trendy in your mind, because that's what we live by, and then you take that frequency from the bottle, try to then connect that with your cells, and your cell goes, we don't like this. This is not what we need, right?
Mm.
And that's when
Yeah.
people say, I don't see any results. Why is that? Well, that's probably because your cell don't need that. It needs something else. And this is the reason why there are thousands of products out there.
Mm.
And that's what I have kind of like figured out. So rejuvenation is that, okay, what's happening in your cell tissues? Are they happy? Is the membrane? I always try to tell people, like, your skin is like lasagna, every layer has a purpose, right? So you have to really go into which lasagna layers are you treating. So rejuvenation is healing, repairing inside the skin, building collagen, make your cell vibrate and energize. So that activity helps to not only look younger, but you retain the glow. It's like going to the gym, but you make every cell going to the gym. So they're like, hooray, I'm happy, I'm Hercules, like, so they show up.
Mm.
So that's the rejuvenation aspect. And today everyone just want to do rejuvenation because there are
Right.
only those treatments from Morpheus A to, CO2 laser and all that. That is to rejuvenate the skin. So people begin to understand what skin rejuvenation meant. And then at the last piece is the preserve and also protection. Like, how do we preserve all that I have worked hard for you and you paid lots of money for me to do so? So you need to learn to preserve that. And that's maintenance. Do you come once a month then? What products are you using? What food are you taking in? And all these lifestyle changes. So it made it so much easier when I explain it to first time clients that come to see me. These are the 4 pillar we have to work on. And if they say that I cannot do the repair, I love drinking, smoking, being in the sun, okay, no
Mm.
problem. which means that you're going to have to see me for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm going to have to keep correcting. So,
Yeah.
so that's these four pillars kind of like attain the ageless part of it. So I'm not the person you go to because I don't want to see my wrinkles. I can minimize those wrinkles. I can break apart those discolorations. I can help you do all that. And I think all of the estheticians, skin specialist dermatologists, that's what we are here to do. We are meant to help you to find solution for whatever concern you may have. But if you're going to continue with the lifestyle you are, then it changes a lot of the outcome. So the promise is like, well, I'm sorry, your collagen is going to keep breaking down, which means I'm going to work harder and you're going to see me more often. So,
Right.
and the more pain you get, kind of, you know. But I try to put common sense to each person and change their habit 1% each day of what they normally do. And once they begin to see result, they're working together with me. Now we're a team. Now you can see faster result in 1 year. You can look 5 years younger in 5 years or 10 years, 20 years, whatever that may be. In the end, ageless is not frozen face for me.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so I created Ageless already in 2000. I loved hanging out with old people when I was younger. You know, like when I was 6 years, I hung out with 60 years old people. I just loved them. And I was a little bit of an old soul, so I could connect. And they had all these wrinkles and their hair is falling apart. And I just said, they are so ageless, you know? And, uh, and that was the thing for me. I'm like, I'm going to be that when I get to that age. So I try to maintain that, and I'm trying to teach each individual, like, listen, nobody's looking at your wrinkles. Nobody is looking at your spot. They're looking at, is this person mesmerizing? Oh,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
glowing. Or her skin is glowing. Oh, but she has 3 pimples. Nobody says these things, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just us, we're judging ourselves so much from within. So that's the reason why I try to teach every person that comes to see me the inside out. And funny enough, you won't believe those people who come to see me that are like so into the makeup, the quick fix and all that. They 50% they start to, you know what? I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I could go out without my makeup, without covering my face. Oh, I didn't have to take that Botox every month. I can do it, you know, maybe twice a year. So it's great to know that the teaching is kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gratifying, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I think back to my first, my first, the first time we met, I was always taken and kind of, not taken aback, but surprised in a good way about how ahead of, you know, cutting edge science you always are. And am I crazy? Did you introduce me to stem cells? Did you used to have a serum that was apple stem cells?
Yes.
That was my first experience with stem cells. You introduced me to that, and
Yes.
it's amazing. Like, nobody had a stem cell serum. Nobody was talking about stem cells. It
No.
was you.
Yeah. No, I was one of these, I was hungry for what's out there. What's more can we do to the cells? Because of my dad was a scientist, so I
Mm.
was so into science. I got the DNA. I can't help it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I remembered when I came to Sweden at 10, because my dad went to Africa, so we couldn't go back here. And he introduced me to my uncle, and he had like a skin cancer. And
Hmm.
me immediately, because I have now lived in the jungle, had a grandfather who makes oil for all kinds of magic. So I said, Uncle, don't worry, I'm going to make you an oil. I'm going to apply it to your skin, and it's going to come from plants. And, you know, I used to talk to trees. So I'm like, yeah, it's going to come from all these, and it's going to help to repair. And of course, they looked at me like, oh, cute little girls, you know, and everybody thought maybe I was supposed to be a doctor or something like that. But I was so interested in skin, and I said, you know what? Skin is so miraculous because you can change it so often and you can make the change for it. I was like, I want to work with that. And so, of course, when I started hearing about stem cells and so on, like, I went to Switzerland and they had an apple. Um, And this particular guy said to me, yeah, that is a stem cell from an apple. And I said, apple? Okay, I want to know that too. I said, you know. And so then we fused that into the product. And I said, oh my God, this is the first plant-based stem cells that existed. In the
Yeah.
meantime, for 30 years, the industry, the other side of it, the researching for human cultured stem cells.
Hmm.
So, but we were like, okay, what about the plants and so forth? So yes. So when I start to, I introduced Dermapen. I was the first to introduce Dermapen in New York.
Hmm.
And I think it was like 2009 or something like that. But before that, I was stamping people. I went to
Yeah.
Korea and I I got this tiny little needle stamper that was metal. I didn't know what it was. And I said, are you supposed to stamp this on your face? And this person didn't speak any English. She goes,
Mm.
yeah, stamping. So, of course, I stamped my face and I'm bleeding. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, is this good for your skin or what's going on? So I'm now stamping everybody. I'm stamping around the eyes of every guy, every old people, and they all look so fantastic. And that led me into this rabbit hole. It's like, it takes that injury in order to
Yeah.
reach that layer. So that's when I started doing derma rollers, and I studied under a Swiss doctor who had done 40,000 patients, him and his group, of using derma roller instead of
Wow.
plastic surgery. And he showed me horrendous photos like bleeding, bruising, and he himself was kind of like a funny doctor. We were on screen and he was smoking, and I'm like, okay, but Dr. Host, aren't you a doctor? He goes, yeah, but I am human. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, all right, cool. And that's when I start to search. I bought a derma pen, and it was from Australia, and the company is Australian, and I got it, and I start doing it because now I had all this experience from the derma stamp to derma roller to this. And I said, what can I punch into the skin? Hyaluronic acid wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
My apple stem cell. I'm going to use
Mm.
that. And that's what I use. And then, of course, hyaluronic acid came. And then after that, human cultured stem cell came. And I started working with that. And now I'm doing only exosomes. And, so
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah,
yeah.
so you're using exosomes. I talk a lot on the podcast about exosomes, and I have a friend, Dr. Jen Haley. She's a dermatologist, and she uses exosomes in her practice. And of course, it's always on compromised skin to help heal wounded skin. And we've talked a lot about how these topical exosome products that people are putting on aren't really doing anything because it needs to be applied to compromised skin. So I'm assuming you're also doing that, whatever you're using, right, in office.
Yeah, I do. Because so I call them avatar. They're like the messenger, right? But
Hmm.
for me, it's like you have a stem cell, and then a company or whoever that makes it says that, okay, from these stem cells, where is it coming from? So there are several, right? From umbilical cord, from adipose tissues, from placenta and such. And then now they start working on a plant-based exosome that is being in the work, and it's going to be more expensive, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So um so when they take that little components from that stem cell, I call that an avatar. So he's like now being, you know, harvest to clone many of him, right? So you have full on data from the first avatar, and this avatar duplicate, multiplicate himself. So he has all the same data. So when you apply those into your skin, you kind of have to go really deep down in order for those avatars to like do the work, because they
Yeah.
come with data. They're like the messenger. If they just stay on the surface, the messenger, they're like, okay, where am I going with this? So
Right.
they need to go down to then see other cells. And I go, okay, you're missing these components. So I'm releasing this data to help to heal, repair, and so forth. And oxidations and zombie cells, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of have to go much deeper. But right now, I am working with my lab on plant-based exosome. Now, that is a little different because they don't go in as like they can be on top. They're like a plant base. It's just that the way you extract it, a little different, right? So it's not just stem cell because you can't say too much about stem cell. Claim that stem cells coming from every plant because you have to go into the seed of the apple seed and the orchid flower seed and so on.
Mm.
So, but when it comes to like spinach or kale and so on, they don't have those kind of seed to extract from. They have to grow in order for you to get the juice out. So we are trying to now figure out what we could do with that, but also adding like a hybrid peptides into it so that
Mm.
the peptide will become the carrier to pull it into the skin. So, but yes, if you just think about exosome itself, like think about that lasagna, it goes in maybe 1% at the end, and that's not going to really make an impact as much. You might as well just put facial oil that
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
further down. So yeah, exosome is the biggest thing right now, and I started with the brown adipose tissue
Hmm.
exosome, and now I'm doing the umbilical blood cell. So it's a little tad different. It's from South Korea.
It's this is a new treatment that you've discovered.
Yeah, it's just a new exosome. So I wanted to work with a lot of different exosomes, but this is
Yeah.
like the next step. And then the next after that comes the bone marrow, exosomes from bone
Oh,
marrow. So
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so but that is already ongoing. So I work with well, I have a client and she's worked with exosome from bone marrow and they're doing IV for it and stuff like that. So, and that is true longevity for the entire cells. Trillions of your cells get adapted to that.
Intravenous?
Yes,
Oh my gosh, I have no
yes,
idea. I mean,
yeah,
that it's just fascinating how it's transforming, how we look at skin and the treatments that we're looking for. Like your exosomes for face and scalp treatment, like can you walk me through that? Like how you're performing that? How, if I
yeah,
walked in, like what would it
yeah.
look like?
So I think it all depends on what kind of skin you have, right? So if you have a very resilient skin and you want to come for skin rejuvenation, so I may say, okay,
Mm.
Carla, I think your skin is quite resilient, so I'm going to do a mesotherapy with the exosome. That's a little bit deeper. Not you. I don't use syringe on anything. I use microneedling, but
Right.
mesotherapy is also another type of microneedling, except it shoots in and then it release, and then it shoots in and then it release. Instead of a microneedling, I have to create the injuries and the channel in order for that to seep in. So I may say, you know what, we just go for the big bang. So I'm just going to do that. So I would do the mesotherapy with the exosome and shoot them into your skin. And if we feel like, okay, I want to deal with my marionette lines around my eyes and so forth, so
Hmm.
then I would do that more extra. Same thing goes with the scalp. Scalp, you have to come twice in a month for it
Hmm.
because it's totally different kind of grass that you have to feed, you have to water it, and you lose constantly new hair. So but I have to say I've been very quite successful with the hair. Surprisingly, I just didn't know how well it was going to work, and I never promise anything in my treatments. So I tell them, listen, if you're healthy, if you do what you're supposed to do, and then I give them supplements that goes along with it. So it's been quite interesting. And I think all this come about because people are hunting for longevity. So
Yeah.
longevity, remember 10 years ago, people talk about immortality. They're like, oh, how you can become immortal, Um, but now immortality in the cell more so. Like how do we make each cell survive a longer time? Does the cell know that it's aging? Or does it
Mm.
just slow us down because of what we do to our body. So I am in that peak now, trying to understand, like, does the cell know we are aging, or does it just, hey, we have not enough fuel to feed the generating of energy? And so this is the reason why all these like biohackers, how to create more mitochondria division into the system, because that is the fuel to build more tissue, collagen, and so forth. It's in a very interesting time. So
Yeah.
longevity is a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I keep hearing about NAD plus. It's like all of a sudden no one's talking about exosomes so much anymore. Now everybody's talking about NAD plus,
Yes, I
right?
mean, I studied energy also for a long time. I did the patch, I did the microdosing, I did
Mm,
the IV. I tried all that. I wanted to see if there was any different on somebody like me who's kind of like fairly healthy. And
yeah.
so, what does that make me? Well, I think I already have so much energy. I think that's the reason why I only sleep 4 hours. But those 4 hours is deep sleep for me. So,
Ah, yeah.
okay, so some people may need 8 hours, but their deep sleep is only 2 hours, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I fall asleep, it is straight 4 hours. Yeah. That's in a way give me a lot more energy than those who sleep 8 hours with just 1 hour
And
deep
don't
sleep.
sleep well. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The sleep quality is everything.
Yes,
So speaking of, like, I want to look at more closely at the holistic and emotional side of beauty.
yeah.
Your work blends science and spirituality with treatments that draw on emotional coaching and energy alignment. Like, how did you come to connect those worlds in your practice?
I think it's trust, right? So I have these three
Mm-hmm.
things that I go by in my business, and I teach that to anybody. Number one is
Mm,
connection. It's so important for us to connect as human, right? And not just human, we connect with animals. We connection is the number one. Our connection from spirit to spirit, it's a connection. So I always say that when you come to see me, I'm actually saying hello to your spirit first before I see your physical self. And that don't mean that I am like becoming like my grandfather or anything of sort. No, because spirit is just an energy. It's just a frequency that we carry. And but our physical form is the one that creates the action for the spirit to actually feel the heightens of frequencies. So when
mm,
you're in love, your spirit is happy because you heighten the frequencies. So for me, connection is number one. And then from connection becomes relationship. What kind of relationship you have with this person, trust and so forth. And then the communication comes next. And that has to do with, oh, I can be vulnerable with this person. I'm comfortable enough to say my flaws. I'm comfortable enough to surrender. So these three aspects also come to play when I meet a person. So they come in, I connect, now build relationship, and then we communicate. And then everyone that comes in, maybe just my energy is so open that everyone would just lay down and surrender to me in a way. So
mm.
I'm able to do the whole full thing. I'm like, okay, let's change the energy frequency wise so that the body can heal. Because my treatments, they are on the aggressive side, and
Mhm.
I want the tissue to heal. But if your mindset and your heart is not there, you're not going to get the treatment, the good treatments. So,
Yeah.
but yes, when it comes to treatments, it's all science based for me. But then when meeting people, have them lay down, and when they leave, I want them to feel like, wow, I felt like I detoxified the whole me. Now I look good, I think better, and I feel amazing. So
And
that's,
I think that people can pick up on that. I know that your clients think that you're more of a spiritual guide than a skin guide.
yes, yes. And then yeah, because and surprisingly enough, universe only send me those people who understand. You know,
Mm, yeah.
it's like I never had anybody who like, oh, I just want this from you. I never had that. I think it was like a timing. They're like, okay, we're gonna torture your soul, we're gonna wake up your spirit, and we need your body to be, your skin to be great. Meet this crazy woman, Julie Lind over here. You know?
I don't know that they're using the word crazy. Definitely different.
Yes, many dimension, many dimension.
Multi-dimensional woman. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so one last question and then we'll do a quick lightning round. If
Yes.
you could give one piece of advice to someone who feels like their skin is aging too fast, what would it be?
I think what I do for that is first is, of course, first I would say, okay, why do you think you age too quick? Because y- no one can say. But yes, if at 35 years old saying that I look so great, and then suddenly I broke up with my husband, or my mom died, or any incident emotionally, and
Mm,
then at some point you see yourself like, I did not see that crow's feet before. I did not see this marionette. Something is broken down. And that has to do with emotion. Oftentimes, it's emotion. You're going through some emotional state. I don't have a guy coming to see, and 50% of my clients are men. They would never come in and say, Julie, I feel like I look old overnight, because men are not as emotion. They're looking at it. Hey, I didn't make enough money. My stock market fell. Maybe so. Um, but they would never see themselves in such ways. And I think that has to do with the female emotion. And it
mm,
affects your hormone. And your hormone is the one that kind of categorize, oh, okay, you depleted, your skin is dehydrated, now you look older because you see those lines, because your skin is so gray and have no energy. In the end, that's where ageless comes in. It's actually not those wrinkles that you were so worried about, you just lost your spark, you know.
mm.
So it's
Yeah.
the spark that you lost, and I'm working on my new app, because Beauty Reset, find your spark back. So I'm fuse all of me in there. Um, that's what I realized. People lost their spark, you know.
Mm,
So I do tell them, number one is, this is your new skincare routine. You have to come and see me for this, and then you're gonna have to start work through what it is that you need to work through, and that's your emotional level. So, and then I can have a 60 years old, super great, super amazing skin, and super happy inside, uh, but like never wash her face, don't use any products, you know. And that's because she is like in love every single day with life.
mm.
So,
I know those people.
and I love them. I love them.
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
truly ageless, you know?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
today is this connection with the world. We all want to connect with another person. By looking great, we think that's what's going to take in order for someone to see and noticing me. So I want to reverse that. Doing your skincare, do your beauty ritual, get your facial, tend to your body. It's just you respecting your actual system. And if you can do that, you exude a certain frequency, and that frequency attracts everything great into your life, you know.
That's a beautiful place to end. Thank you, Julie. I love
Yeah.
that. All right, let's do a lightning round. You can give me quick answers and we'll just go through them. The first skincare product you ever bought for yourself.
I was 10, Kanebo, Japanese products.
Oh, wow. I know the brand. Yeah. That's so wild. At 10.
Yeah, I had my routine. It was the cleansing, the toner, the essence, the light moisturizer in the day, and then heavy
Yeah.
moisturizer at night. I was 10 years old, went
Oh
to
my
this
God.
Singaporean luxury boutique. I had the money in my pocket, and my mom
Mm,
said, "What do you want for your money?" "I'm gonna buy something." And I went to this beautiful, I was so tuned in. I said, I want the whole step. And this lady goes, "You're way too young." And I said, No, no, I want to start young. I just love the act. I
yeah.
love the act of doing. Makes me feel pretty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One wellness ritual you never travel without.
Okay, so I always bring my green vibrance. I don't know if you know what that is. It's
No.
been around for 30 years.
Mm.
It calls green vibrance. It is all salad in a powder.
Ah.
Okay, so um, that I cannot live without. Because I know what it can do for me. I know that when I travel a lot, I can't eat the food that I normally choose to eat. And
Hmm.
but for me, I bring that, and that's amazing. It has probiotic, it has vitamin, it has spinach, kale, whatever it is. So I always tell clients, whether you chew it, you drink it, you better get it in every day.
I need to drop that in the show notes. I'll hit you up afterwards and I'll put that in the show notes. I I,
Yes,
I
yeah,
need that myself.
yeah.
All right. Most unusual ingredient you've ever added to a product.
Um, they were unusual before, but they're not unusual anymore. I mean, I used to work with, from today it's an in thing, but 20 years ago, like from all the venom, from viper venom to
Ah,
bee venom to snail spit to, I'm talking
mm,
about pure, not even mixed in anything. I mean,
yeah.
I remember when I did the viper venom, I don't think I ever couldn't move my forehead for like 4 days.
I
So
remember being in the first time I went to Seoul. I went to, one of those beauty stores and I was like, what is all of this? And I bought a Viper Venom eye cream. And yeah, I remember that product. Oh my
yeah,
God, that was wild.
yeah. So I
That's
do a lot of
cool.
that. But anything unusual, it's uh, those were very unusual in its, now it's being okay to, because they're more diluted and percentage
Right.
wise and so forth.
Yeah.
But I've tried everything. I mean, pretty much what's out there. And I kind of laugh about it today. I'm like, oh my God, I did that 15 years ago and people thought I was crazy. 20 years ago, I introduced that and people thought I was crazy. So the only request I may have from clients were,
Mm.
can I bring sperm from my boyfriend? Or can I bring placenta because my friend just had a baby, so I took some of the gelatin. Or so those were the most unusual requests about. Or can I bring my own urine, morning
Oh my
urine?
God.
I
Wow.
get crazy because I am so innovative and based on science.
Yeah. Yeah.
People thought they could just come over and tell me, can you put that on my face?
And
And
hack
I'm like,
Julie.
yeah. I said,
Yeah.
well, this thing is dead already. It's not even active. And this one, it's like now has turned into toxic,
Mm.
things like that. So, but yeah, I've gotten those questions at
That's
times.
amazing. That is so crazy. That is crazy. All right, the skincare step you sometimes secretly skip.
Sorry again. The skin secret?
The skincare step you sometimes secretly skip.
It's probably yeah, I don't skip anything, but
there's the answer.
no
On your
skipping
four
here.
hours of sleep, you're only getting 4 hours of sleep. You have much more time for a nightly routine.
That's so true.
Right? Those people that don't wash their face before bed, you're like, come on.
Indeed, that is true because I do have
Yes,
more hours to explore.
you do. You do. All right, coffee, tea, or green juice to kickstart your day.
I drink lots of matcha. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, oh, wow. Matcha it is.
Yeah,
All right, and the
because it's
last, yeah, go
antioxidant.
ahead.
It lengthens you for 6 hours. And I'm all about antioxidant.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. My morning routine is loaded. The supplements and the skincare are loaded with
I'm sure
antioxidants.
you must have so many product covered.
I have
You.
so many products. But it's not just about topical, like you've said, the internal, and I do have something called Vital Greens that my
Okay.
naturopathic doctor prescribed for me, and it's a green powder.
Yeah.
And I often think, am I going to have vegetables today? Like what kind of vegetables am? And I really do rely
Yeah.
on that, and I never skip that. I have it every morning.
Yeah. I mean, you remember the green powder that I sent you one time, the green mask?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes.
So that recipe I created in 2000,
Mm,
and I was like, what can I do for people who has super sensitive skin in a treatment room? I said,
mm,
what if I just add that in the treatment room before the exfoliation and so forth? So I adding and I was mixing and so forth, and it worked really well. So that's how it started when I said, well, this is a green juicing on your skin, but it also a feeder. And from that on, it led me to find, the green vibrance and so forth. So it's amazing what those plants can do. Most people think that, oh, I want cosmeceutical product, I want strong products. Yeah, they're fantastic, but energy stem from a frequency that it needs from everything. So
yeah.
it's the same thing from food, and it's not just one that works for everybody, right? So I do change my clients' routine every 3 months. So they're totally different products, different ingredients, and so forth. Even though if they say, but I really love this stem cells product, I want to use it. I said, no, I change it up a little bit. So we change the frequency a little bit. And that's how you stay ageless. That's how your skin always pumped up, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Lord knows I'm constantly changing my
Yeah.
products.
Yeah, but you look amazing. You look
Thank
great.
you.
You
Thank
just
you.
need to come and have
Antioxidants,
a treatment.
antioxidants and sunscreen.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see you. The last time I had a facial, it was downtown at a spa downtown, like a new age spa, and the facialist said to me, she stopped in the middle of it. She said, "Oh my God, you have so much collagen," and I was
Good.
like, "That is the biggest compliment I could ever receive. Thank you. Thanks." She got a great tip. She complimented my collagen. I can't even. Like,
Yeah, no, let's have you come in one day and let's us do I also brought in the salmon sperm treatments and stuff like that. So
oh, let's do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people call it salmon sperm. It's actually PDNR, but it
Mm,
means a salmon DNA. But I don't know where the sperm come from. So
right.
it just become it. And so I offer that as well. So we should do something like that for you to try and see how that works.
I'm game. We'll do it. All
Yeah.
right, last question. Finish this sentence. Ageless beauty is really about
About energy from
mm,
inside out. It's about your spark.
perfect.
I call it.
Yeah.
How's your spark today? This is what I tell people. How's your spark?
How's
It's
your
not very
spark?
sparkly. It's very dim. Okay, let's amp it up. Let's amplify it. So yeah, it's from within. I if I were to say it's topical, then it's fake. It's
Yeah.
not really what is, you know. So it comes from inside. You know how it is. You meet lots of people coming. You see people, and you're like, wow, that person has great energy. That person is, that's just how it is. That's how you connect with people and build that relationship. Otherwise, if they're just gorgeous, I meet lots of gorgeous people. Come on, but they are dim, and I said,
Mm,
wow, so sad. This could be
mm,
so much more, right? So, but the work that you and I do, like you try to bring it out, more awareness and stuff like that, it's major for for the young ones too. So,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Oh, thank you, Julie. This was
Yeah.
incredible. I'm
Yes.
so happy to reconnect with you. Connection is all about connection, and I'm
Yes.
really excited to see you in New York when you come back.
Yes, I'll be back. I'll be back this month, the end of the month. So I will
Yay.
definitely tell you to come over, lay at my table, and I will do what I'm talking about.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I can't wait to see you. Thanks, Julie.
Okay, you take care. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Skin Karma Pod. Find more insights, real talk, and reviews of my favorite skincare products on the Skin Karma blog at skinkarma.com. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review this episode. It helps me to reach more listeners. Ciao.